Hello, it's Darren. Wanted to give you some tips for facilitating a workshop or a session that helps people to reflect. Maybe you reflect on the year as an organization or as a team or on the quarter. Maybe you reflect on the product that you launched. Could be any important moment to reflect. And in the agile world, sometimes they do something known as a retrospective, where they may reflect on the sprint or the project that they did. So there are some really great resources to help you if you want to facilitate more of a reflective session or a retrospective for the first time. My favorite resource is the Miroverse. This is on Miro, where they have all kinds of templates available. Same thing on another tool that I love to use called Mural, right? If you search for Mural templates, you'll find all these templates. Essentially activities, workshops that you can just start to run. So I've searched for retro here, and you can see there are some different retrospective templates that have popped up that you can use. I'm curious about this traffic light one. So some of these are pretty advanced, where they'll show you, hey, it's a 60-minute activity for this many people, and here's what you do, and here's how you do it, and here's the whiteboard where people can just add, themselves and add their details right to it. So that's a great tool if you want to do something the easy way, use the content that's already been established. So in Miro, when I look at the best of 2021, so this whole concept of templates or canvases for virtual whiteboards exploded in the year 2021. So in the best of 2021, the number one is a sailboat retrospective. So this is quite a popular one. So when you're on Miro, you can just use a template, open it up, and then share the link for other people to edit, to be able to add to this whiteboard. So if you have a Miro account or get set up, they have free accounts, it'll help you to do that, right? So this is pretty cool. It tells you about this retrospective, this activity, how to do it. Here it is. You can zoom in and zoom out. What helped us forward this year, right? Created new products for customer, whatever, right? Whatever it is. But the whole group could do this at the same time, right? This activity. So how could you create a retrospective like this, the sailboat style, on Mural? So let's say they don't have a template for the sailboat activity on Mural. So here's what you could do. This is what I like to do, sometimes make my own really rough template. So I've just opened up a blank template, not even a template, just a whiteboard, a blank whiteboard on Mural, right? So you notice that the whiteboard orientation is kind of like a PowerPoint slide. So if you've already created a PowerPoint slide that maybe has an activity that's a big framework and you just want to put that on the slide, you can just bring that right onto the whiteboard and make the whole whiteboard that image. Or another thing you can do is you can search for an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this icon here for images. All right, so I've got this image icon popping up, and I'm just going to search for sailboat. I'm going to create my own sailboat retrospective. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. That's a pretty cool one too. So I'm just, this is a classic. So I'm just going to move this onto the whiteboard, right? And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to make the whole whiteboard this image, right? So the whole whiteboard is this image, and then I can, move the whiteboard to this side. Then what I'm going to do here is very important. I'm going to do the right click and I'm going to send it to back, right? So we can add stuff on top of it. I'm also going to lock it so people can't move it, right? So now I can make an activity just based on this whiteboard. So if I look at the sailboat activity and its wind helped us forward, hey, I can I can add something here. Wind helped us forward. And then I can even make this a different color. Let's make this green, right? Because it's like that. I'll even make it a different size. And then I can double click and I can throw some, Post-it notes out so that other people can add to it. And I'll get rid of these in this shape. But every time I double click, I should pop up another note. Just make them random, right? So here we go. I'm creating my own template. And if there's another one for anchor, right, I can add that in there. My guess is there's an anchor. Anchor held us back, of course, right? So I can go anchor held us back. And I can change that. So I think this is a classic activity that I think I saw a variation of for the first time in a book called Game Storming, right? And then I can, add some more Post-it notes. I can change the orientation of these to be more of the smaller ones, right? So And maybe for this one, I'll make this red, right? Because that's kind of like a stopping kind of thing. So let's make that more of a red color, right? So there we go. So we're building our own, template or activity right on the Mural board, or Miro board in this case. So that's how you can do things to hack together your own template, your own activity. Maybe you're just taking an image you already have, a PowerPoint slide you've already created. That's the whole framework is on there, and you want people to add, their post-it notes or their insights onto there too. You can do that. So hopefully this was a helpful tip. And the key thing now is okay, you've got the activity, you've got the framework perhaps, but how do you facilitate it? How do you deal with the people part of your session? You've got maybe the content, the focus, but how do you work with the people? So what you can do here is get into our Train the Trainer program and look at this module perhaps, facilitation tools and techniques. So how would you design the session using some tools and techniques to make that experience interactive for people, reflective? What are some of the activities that you can do? In this program, you can go through and you can see some different approaches, methods that you can use, and even storyboard out your own session. What kinds of activities might you do for an icebreaker to get people started, or at the end to reflect on the experience, or to have time to think about it, pair up with somebody, share as a whole group. So how would you design this for the size of the group that you have, right? So that's something to think about. And the time. Do you have 15 minutes? Do you have an hour? Do you have a full day? What could that be like? So that's the key piece with facilitation. It's not just the framework or the content. That's a dime a dozen in books and templates as you see, but how do you do it as a facilitator? How do you lead the in-person experience?